Friday morning again. We're always excited on a Friday morning. Sorry about the Friday morning again. We're always excited on a Friday morning. Sorry about the times. They're all over the shop. It's just the way it works out sometimes, and we're about to enter the barn here. We're all set. Of course, been in New Zealand, back in New Zealand, cuz, and it was pretty good, eh? Got a few horses, I think pretty good buys, and good to be back at Warwick Farm. So I do enjoy coming here. This morning we had jump outs, which is like a trial for a trial. 700 metres down the back straight of Warwick Farm, and if we will go, if you look out from my stables, pretty much straight down there from the 1400, and then we come across there. So it's about 700 metres straight, and it's as good a surface as you could ever ask for. So I like to get my horses up to a stage where we can really let them go, let the brakes off. Often they've had generally about 6 weeks in work, and maybe even 3 or 4 weeks pre-training, so they've got a good base in order to do that. And it's the first guide I probably really get in terms of what we're dealing with, and ideally we look to go to the trials 2 weeks later. So that's gone pretty good. Of course we'll go through a few of the horses as we go down the barn, but I think the last 4 runners, they've all run well, but they've all run second, and as a trainer, second is the first one beat, as you know. So anyway, January's over, we're into February. We're probably on target in terms of previous years and wins and so forth. I've got my sidekick here, Luke Hilton, out of nowhere. We've got Speltet there, looks well. Hardest working Aussie, new Conquest sweeper. I've been barred. The staff don't let me ride that one or drive it. Pick up the tab. Here is a horse from New Zealand, Savabeel. Only 6 runners. A really tough race tomorrow in the Canonbury Stakes. But I think he's a nice horse. I think once he gets over further, he's going to be a really nice 2-year-old. We're coming up to Mr. Good Looking himself. We'll just hone in on him. Pose for the camera. There he is. Cabalis with the magic colours. And he was very good first up. He's come through well. He had a good gallop on Tuesday morning, and possibly he's going to run next week in the Eskimo Prince. Also put him in the benchmark 78 as a backup, but hard not to like him how he settled in. He's doing everything well and train really. Very good looking customer. If I was a horse, I wouldn't look like him. Anyway, here's Majorca Sunset. He jumped out really well this morning. He's one of the picks of the morning. He's by the Autumn Sun, and he went super. So excited about him. Here's Luna Field. Well, I told a lot of the followers I thought he'd win yesterday. He might have got beaten by a good one. Also, he wasn't necessarily in the best part of the track. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's all happening this morning. We've got our farriers here. Hello, Pete and Phil.
How's it going?
Mate, don't charge us for this. Already paid their bill, I think. Here we come down. We've got Osmosis here, and he is in great order. He looks absolutely fantastic. Coming along well. So he's on target to, of course, run in the Galaxy, and you can't wait to get him up and going over the next few weeks. Fleet Commander, he ran second yesterday. Good run, very good run. Redneck Rum trialled well. Here's Arapaho, our old mate. He's the Labrador of the stable. We lick you to death, and he's coming along super. Actually, Luke, you said his work the other day was outstanding.
Yeah, I think he's improved. He's definitely stronger than he has ever been. So excited for Monday's back in the trials again.
Yeah, he's lovely to do anything with, and of course he won the Tancred, and he was phenomenal last season. A little bit underrated, aren't you, mate? Underrated. Canadian Express was a good second first up. Canadian Ruler ran very well last week at Randwick, just up and trip, and might have just peaked on his run, but he's going super. Super Seth, Stella Grace, he jumped out this morning too. He went really well. I think he's got some ability. Of course, he was bought from New Zealand last year. Dynamic Impact, he'll go to Canterbury, 4 from 4, try and make it 5 from 5. O Tycoon was good, very good first up. Here he is, the star of the week, More Victorious. He's a horse that just keeps doing it, stepping up, and we were pretty confident he'd run well. Luke, probably more than anyone, and he never looked like losing. So he's definitely going to be better over a little bit further. Possibly he could run next weekend or the Saturday after. Probably more likely the Saturday after, but it was a good win, and he really dominated. Then we go over to another one of our favourites, Derby. Overpass, all set for the Quokka. You got a few challenges this year. They're coming out of the woodwork. These early days of his preparation, he will follow exactly what he did last year. Go straight to the Quokka. Then maybe a race like the Doomben 10,000. Here is Don Pedro. If you backed him last week, you'd still be licking your wounds. He went really well. He's going to run on Friday at Canterbury. James McDonald rides, should be hard to beat. We got one today, Ride the River. He was good first up at Scone. 900 was on the short side. I think today will look to be positive. Stepping up to city grade's always a big jump, but I think he's a nice horse, whether it's today or even next preparation. Definitely more in store. Here's a Too Darn Hot that jumped out this morning. He went really well. So he'll probably trial in 2 weeks. He's Darn Hot. 2, Rock Hard Love for On Track was a very good trialer yesterday. I think he's got a lot of ability, and he's going well. Loves his tucker, that's what we like to see. Tarashock's running tomorrow. He was going to be in on Friday night. Unfortunately, the race was scrapped. Would have been perfect. It was an evening star, which he won 2 back. He'll be in the back half of the field tomorrow. He'll be underrated, but he's some each way hope. Glontone, he was just beaten on Wednesday. Unfortunately, the trend seems to be seconds today, but he's in good order. Battleton was a little bit plain last week, as he can be. As we look in, we've got Shalale too, so he's running probably Wednesday. Looks fantastic. Going pretty well. So we bought 4 horses from New Zealand. A Savabeel colt that was the one I really wanted from the sale. I thought he was outstanding, and we paid good money for him. He is sold. We bought another Savabeel with a really good pedigree out of She's Sensational. He is sold. We bought a lovely Astern colt out of a really good family off Pinkaro. There's 5% left. He was, I think, the cheapest yearling we've bought so far this year, 70,000. He is a really nice horse. I was surprised we'd get him for that. I thought we'd have to go to at least 100,000. And the last one is, well, I think my father's won about 10 derbies. I want to win one in my own right. I was in partnership with Lion Tamer, who I actually did the most of the work with, but never got the credit or the cash. But we bought an Almanzor out of a Zabeel mare, and he will stay all day. So I think he's possibly, if you want to win a derby like me, he could be the one. And here's Lady of Luxury. She looks fantastic. She was in 2 races tomorrow. We're going to the benchmark race, and she ran well at the Gold Coast. I think 1200. I'm just wondering if it's on the short side. Maybe it is. But she is in good order. We're actually going to have a special guest or two, but I can't track him down. We've got one of our Bathurst runners gone, Line of Law. She should be hard to beat. She's going to be positive, go forward, and I think she should be a good chance. I really like Miss Givellini at good odds today. She's about 10 to 1, or last time I looked. I think Gate 2 was a good run, albeit at Cowra last time, so I thought she went super. And 1100 is just going to suit so much better. Here we go. She's an A-lister. Of course, she won last Friday and was dominant. She's going to run over 1200 on Saturday. She's just in magnificent order. This is how you want them to look. She's in fantastic order. Looks alone, you'd have to back her. And here is Steffi. Well, I thought when we drew wide on Saturday we wouldn't be running. As it is, she's got into gate 7 and may get in one more gate. Her work on Tuesday, I was in New Zealand. How good was her work?
Yeah, it was exceptional. She's improved again off that run down in Flemington, and she's in great order. I think she's
Stop mumbling, mate. Talk clear.
She's
Clear.
definitely gone to another level this preparation.
Yeah, fantastic, Luke. He, imagine what a good job he would have done if all those horses that had come second had won. I'd be like singing his praises. There's a fine line between pleasure and pain, and he's flying Shelley. She was, well, she's had 2 runs this time in and seconds both times. She was very good yesterday. I don't think we quite nailed the pattern of the track, and he's one of our old favourites, Big Malkovich. He's in great order, looks fantastic. 1200 tomorrow is a bit of a question mark. But Rosa with the row out, I've always thought that would be the perfect setup for him. So we'll hope he can run a good race. And he's Ita. She's been a great horse for the stable. She was actually going to run on Friday night too. It would have been a perfect race for her. But she's a show tomorrow. 1500, she's got a better gate. Last time we had to go too far back, so that didn't quite work out. And here we got our vet, Alan Frogley, Dr. Al Frogley, ex-jockey, 6 wins from 700 rides.
Incorrect. I had 16 wins from 100 rides.
10 of them were in picnics, mate. I'm talking about tab meetings.
They were all professional meetings, and I was only 15. And then
come on, Al. Anyway, where's Crossing Racing? Vet turned, how long have you been practising, Al?
Quite a while. 35 years.
How long have I been a client?
10 now.
10, far out. Now, I haven't received your January bill. You're a bit slow off the mark. Is it the second today, Luke?
Yeah.
Eh?
No, it's so big it's taken a little bit longer to get it ready, okay?
Well,
I'm kidding.
The problem, it's not a joke, because Al was heavily involved in the sales process with Jim and Georgia as well. And now the big negative with that, there's a lot of truth, because he does a lot of our x-rays at the sales, a lot of clinical examinations, and it's a big part of it. So he knows what we can work with, and so Al is a crucial part of that, Al. And what's your pick of the New Zealand yearlings?
Oh, look, I thought we bought well over there, considering I think it was a tough sale to buy at, because it was a lot stronger than it was the previous year. I particularly like both Savabeel colts.
Sold and sold.
Oh, and I thought the Al Mansour was a good buy. That colt, you know, he was by Al Mansour out of his field, nicely put together, nice staying horse.
You didn't cue him up very well, Luke. This is about sale, sale, sell, sell, sell.
Al's as honest as they come. He's one of the rare honest vets there get around.
I'm a vet, not a salesman.
Yeah, okay. Well, Magic Millions, what do you like of the ones?
Yeah, well, I took a share from my wife in the Written Tycoon colt, who apparently is sold.
Yes.
I really like the Ole Kirk filly. I thought she was one of the nicest fillies on ground. Okay, and I'm giving some thought to that, taking a share in her, depending whether you pay your bill well enough and quick enough.
Well, come on, Al, that's never in doubt. I do a lot of things wrong, but I'm a very good payer on the day or the day after. Now, this is what we call a twitch, and that's for Luke later. And here's a Peter Ballerina. She's running Wednesday at Warwick Farm. James McDonald on. Thanks, Al. Appreciate the appearance. Here's Infatuation. And she looks to get an easy lead. It's definitely a drop back from the Magic Millions where she was super. We were debating whether we run last week. We decided to wait for this week, and there's not a whole heap of speed, so we'll definitely be positive with her. She looks fantastic, as you can see, and I guess we just wanted to win another race now. It's been a wee while. She's only won the one at Randwick, so it'd be nice to get her winning again and possibly look for some better races. Of course, it's still a big money race tomorrow, 160,000 plus bobs. She's eligible for bobs. We've got all the runners and workboard all set for tomorrow. And what questions have we got? Plans for Line of Fire. He just had a little bit of a hamstring twinge, so I think he's going good again. We're going to give him a gallop tomorrow and then possibly trial next week. You just want to take it, unfortunately, after these things, back up slowly. Too far, too fast, too soon is a disaster. Isn't it, Luke?
Absolutely.
That's right. Next question. Give Luke a new hat. That one is getting old. Mug Punter. That's right, mate. Well, after you've been featuring in the press, maybe we'll be able to get a free one of yours this week. What do we got? Plans for line of fire. Nick, you're glowing, Bjorn. Thanks. It's been a busy January. It's very kind of you. And Stacey, any update, Fleet Commander? He's actually pulled up pretty well, so we're not too worried about it. Here we go. As we come into the barn, we're going to introduce you to one of our main men. Ashish, don't go anywhere, mate.
I'm here.
Steve, I've got your invoice being paid.
Yeah, been paid, yes.
Yeah, fantastic. January, that was January, wasn't it?
Yeah,
good doing business with you.
Yes.
Anyway, here he is, Ashish Kumar, aka Rahul Dravid. We call him the Wall at Baker Racing, and I think you've started. Is that my cap?
No, that's mine.
I think that's my cap. Anyway, Ashish is Mr. Reliable, Mr. Dependable, and here he is, Ashish. Of course, he straps Osmosis. That's his horse. When did you think he was good?
Yeah, like I saw him when he first galloped, and from that day I picked him up. Like he showed a great integrity, and from that day I just followed him up.
Yeah, he's fantastic, Ashish. We couldn't do it without him, of course. He likes hanging out with high-powered, sharp, fast machines. See him leaning on the Conquest sweeper, and then Osmosis. How long have you been here, Ashish?
7 years now.
7 years, eh?
People get less for murder, Ashish.
Ashish has a test batting average in theory just below Bradman's, but I often ask how he goes on Sunday in his Indian League, and not so good, Ashish, eh?
No, I play good.
A little bit of a run of outs. Anyway, folks, that's it. You want a cap? Derby Racing. There you go too. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we can get a winner. Best of the weekend, Luke?
I think I'm going to go with... It's hard this weekend, actually.
Okay.
Get your sock on.
Ashish, best of the weekend?
Best of the weekend, Aita. I'm going with Aita.
Aita.
Infatuation.
Infatuation. Miss Gavellini each way today. We missed anyone? Sorry, sometimes I don't see the comments. Trent, thanks for the tips, Luke. Quite achiever. You're
Good bloke.
We've got better judges around here than that, Trent. I'll tell you. Caulfield, I haven't even looked. Star May will probably run on Thursday, Dino. She's in good order, going well. Highlights coming along good. Breakfast Point Louis. Plans Persuasive. He's going to run Wednesday week. Actually going well. Mark Bowman, things are tough when a Kiwi is telling you to speak clearly. Luke, yeah, we've got a lot of people here, English is their second language, and I cannot speak English, and nor can Luke. So, like, it is the blind leading the blind. We got anything else? That's about it. Take care, folks. Have a good weekend. Remember, a winner a day keeps the bank manager away.